Over here, you see the disco ball, like you can see for the disco field. Gotta get the disco ball. That'd be nice.
Okay.
Okay, so what you see here is a photo of Grandmaster Flash in the early days. Okay, here's a typical flyer to a party in the 1970s. This one was taking place in the Bronx at the 369th Armory, right? Well, that's actually in Harlem. The 369th Armory is on 142nd Street in Harlem. But you see, DJ Hollywood, Grandmaster Flash, DJ Eddie Chiba, DJ Starsky, some of the original pioneers from the early days. If you look in this display case, you'll see some handwritten flyers, some original artwork from parties that were given in the early days before there were records, before there were music videos, before there were even recordings. There were parties going on all over the Bronx, and these are some of the invitations and flyers that were created. Now, if you take a good look at them, you'll notice that some of them are handwritten. We didn't have the luxury of Photoshop and editing and cutting and pasting. So these flyers were actually handcrafted by artists and then Xerox copied and put into distribution. If there was an error on the invite, they had to start all over and do it a second time. So that gives you a little idea of the importance of this art in the 70s, right? Okay, as you come into this display case over here, we're showcasing the 40th anniversary of Curtis Blow's Christmas rapping. So this whole display case is dedicated to Curtis Blow and some of the firsts that he has in hip hop. For example, he was the first person to be signed to a major recording agreement in the 1970s with Mercury Records. He's the first recording artist to have a gold rap single with the song The Breaks. And he has the first rap single called Christmas Rapping that was celebrating the 40th anniversary of the song Christmas Rapping. So as you can see, there's some photos, there's some invites, there's some flyers, there's some snipes. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Where's Curtis Blow from?
Curtis Blow is from Harlem. See, as you can see here, right? You have the first single on Mercury Records, right? Right? The Swatch New York City Fresh Festival, the first hip hop tour to go national, right? There's another photo of all of the artists that was on the Fresh Fest tour in the 1980s, right? And a little bit more information about Curtis Blow from the movie Crush Groove. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's take a detour from this side of the wall for a second. And let me explain to you what's happening in these kiosks. Each one of these kiosks gives you a visual representation of one of the elements in hip hop. Like, for example, this particular kiosk here with this video gives you a whole historical representation of the life of Curtis Blow. His whole 40-year career is pretty much documented in this video, and the kids can come, they can put on their headset, and they can listen and they can learn the history of Curtis Blow. As we move down, you have another one here. This one is about the DJ element and the B-boys and B-girls. So again, you can grab your headphones, you can get a visual representation where you can see some demonstrations of the dance and the DJ, as you can see. Move a little further over here, and what we have right here is the MC, the rapper, featuring KRS-One, giving a good documentation of the MC and the history of the rapper and the microphone control and the masters of ceremony. This is what this one is about. Over here we have another one. This one is about the aerosol art, the history of graffiti art and subway art. So there's a visual representation of the subway art here, featured with cornbread, as you can see. And this last one is basically chronologically depicting the story of the 1970s in New York City. Everything that was going on in the punk rock scene, the rock scene, the graffiti scene, the aerosol scene, the breakdance scene. This basically gives you a synopsis of what was happening around New York City around the time of the birth of hip hop. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so over here, this is cool.
Okay, if you're looking at this art that's on the back of the subway car right here, this was done by Popmaster Fable. It basically says Revolution, which is the name of the exhibit, the Revolution of Hip Hop. So this was a nice aerosol piece that he put together to make it a little more decorative on the back of the train.
Nice.
Okay, now if you step right here to your left, right over here on your right hand side, this computer is our hip hop timeline. It's a comprehensive timeline that tells the story of everything that was happening from the late 1960s to the mid 1970s. So basically, if you touch on one of the icons like this, it shifts directly to that point in history. So you can see things about DJ Africa Bambaataa versus Disco Mario, or maybe we can go here, and you will see the Jackson 5's Dancing Machine talking about the robot and the electric boogie, or maybe we can go here to James Brown and the breakbeat and his percussive influence over rap music from the beat perspective. So this is a comprehensive look at everything that was happening in that time period to put some perspective around what we're talking about. Okay? Now look on the wall right here. If you look right here, this barcode, you take a photo of this barcode in particular, and it downloads that entire timeline into your phone so you can have it for yourself.
Cool.
This barcode is a donation barcode. This is so you
Point to
can.
that one again.
This barcode right here, if you take a photo of this barcode, it downloads the entire Universal Hip Hop Museum timeline into your phone.
Alright, so what's this one do?
This barcode here is for donations. If you feel the need to make a donation, we have to raise $80 million to build our full museum, so we're always looking for donations.
How much?
80 million.
80 million?
Yes, that's the number we have to raise.
How much have you raised so far?
30.
Cool. You're
So
well
we're
on your
doing
way.
okay. Yes, but we're far from the goal, and we need the community support. We have government and corporate support, but we need the
Gotcha.
community to stand up. Those small donations matter. $1, $5, $10. We need the community to support this. This is for the community, about the community, owned by the community. So the community doesn't represent itself and donate and support, we won't have this exhibition long. So it's very important that the community plays ball and activates themselves into this process, so we can all have this archive and collection to share with generations to come, for all of the people who invented it and all of the children that came after it. Okay, so let's move a little bit further down. This was a high school party at Theodore Roosevelt High School on Fordham Road in the 1970s. This photo was shot by the great Joe Conzo Jr. And apparently what they say that there was over 5,000 teenagers at this party in a high school gym early in the days of the 70s. So as you can see, there's some more information about the 70s, some more flyers, some more invites for you to see. We're talking about the Disco Twins, we're talking about Grandmaster Flash, Pete DJ Jones, the Disco Twins. You know, so there's a lot of information here. Okay, as we move a little bit further down. This is that same party at Roosevelt High School, but now you get to see the DJ set. You had DJ Africa Bambaataa, DJ Charlie Chase from the Cold Crush Brothers, and cool DJ Red Alert, all DJing at the same party in the 1970s.